There you go.
Was it any water? Yay!
Deliverance, doing banjos.
Good job. All right.
Myself, but there you go.
Welcome to the podcast, folks. It's two lonely boys in a canoe coming at you on a Sunday. Happy Sunday the 17th.
Yep.
Yeah, happy July 17th. All right, and today, Trevor, we got a special guest. Who do we have with us?
Chris Gunna, a.k.a. Silver Squirrel, back.
Who is it? Silver Squirrel? Damn, it's good to have you back, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, it's always good to have you here and to have you stopping on in during the podcast. Yeah, man, it's good stuff.
I'm back.
Yeah. Alrighty. So how's life been treating you, Chris? Everything been good?
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
Nice. Very
It's
good.
been fantastic.
Yeah.
Been awesome. It's been...
Yeah, it's been 1 week since you looked at me.
Go on, though. So, Chris, have you any dirty lady stories? Any dirty ladies on the bus recently or on the street? You holler
I
at
got
those?
attacked.
Oh, tell us.
Yeah, I got attacked downtown
What happened?
by a woman.
Did she have clothes on?
She had clothes.
Damn it.
Was she nice?
No, she's attacking him so many
Well, maybe
times.
she's attacking him with kisses, you know?
No.
Doesn't sound like it. The other kind of attack.
So she was attacking you with knives?
Yeah, what was she doing?
She's doing whatever she's doing because of what I did to her.
What'd you do to her? Okay, first of all, Chris, you got a woman attacking you. You must have did something.
Yeah,
What'd you do?
What craziness did you
Chris
say to
ran
her?
up and punched this chick dead in her mouth and was afraid when she retaliated.
Did you make sweet love to her many years ago on a rainy Wednesday under a bridge with the...
Chris, is that you? And you're just
then
running?
you just left her crying. You gave her the best love sex of her life and then just never talked to her again.
So what ended up happening? Why was she mad at you?
Yeah.
She just freaked out on me.
Was she on drugs?
Yeah, she was pretty wired.
Damn, that sucks.
Too much math or something.
Yeah. You can always tell when there's a bad batch in town because all the homeless people start getting weird.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like right now.
They start getting nutty.
Right now,
I
people
can't
are getting
remember if
crazy.
she had shoes on or not, but I would have stepped on her foot if she got in my way.
No, that's crazy, man. And I mean, homeless people don't have anything to lose. So, I mean, what the hell's going to stop them from attacking somebody?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how much stuff, but yeah, they're guys that like to
Because
have
you
all
can
their
be
stuff
a great,
taken.
you can be a great fighter, but great fighting doesn't equal shit when somebody that you're fighting is insane.
Oh.
You know,
Yeah, and everything
if they just latch onto your cheek with their teeth or something,
Yeah.
go fucking ape shit on
I heard
you.
a story about a guy named Anthony Smith who was a UFC fighter. He was a title fighter. He fought against John Jones. Like, he's one of the top light heavyweights in the world. And he talked about how recently his home got broken into by a guy, and he had to fight this guy. And he said this guy fought harder than damn near any guy he ever fought in a cage.
Mm-hmm.
And he eventually subdued this guy. And this guy had a knife, but the problem is that the fighter had his wife and kids, and they managed to get out safely. And he took this guy down, but he's like, the difference is there was no ref or anyone to stop. He said it was life or death, and he said this guy must have been cracked out because he would not stop.
Yeah.
And this is a top level fighter having issues.
Because what happens after a minute or two of fighting, I don't care how much gas you got in your tank, I don't care if you're a professional fighter. If
If you're fighting
after
hard,
2 minutes,
fighting
you're
hard.
going as hard as you can
Yeah.
for 2 minutes straight.
You're fucking
You're
tired.
gonna start to gas,
So tired.
and eventually, 2 minutes turns into 5 minutes. 5 minutes turns into 7 minutes, and if the cops ain't on their way in 7 or 8 minutes, you could be dead. It's really fucked up.
You had to fight this guy for like 7 minutes of just hard fighting.
And that's saying the cops get to you. I heard a story the other day that was nuts. There was a woman who called 911 because her mother was not looking well. Turned out her liver was shutting down. She was like jaundiced. And the woman was explaining to the 911 operator what it was, but she wasn't at the home. And she couldn't check on her mother's condition. So basically the 911 operator told her to make sure before they send an ambulance out there that, you know, she's in okay condition. Well, the woman's mother died.
Damn.
So what was it, like a night went by, the next morning the mom died, and it was because they didn't send her to the hospital, but the guy was worried about kind of sending an ambulance out farther, you know, they lived out a little far. But it is a kind of crazy thing because the people that run 911 switchboards, they aren't doctors, they aren't cops, they aren't anything. When you call 911, usually it's in a panic. Usually it's in a crazy state of things going on. You're not calling 911 like, hello.
They had like some eggs.
Hey, how are you?
Can I order this?
Can we talk?
Yeah.
Can I order this?
Dave Chappelle had a great joke
yeah.
about that. Dave Chappelle had such a good joke about that. But yeah, no, usually when you're calling up 911, and what if you get somebody that just gives no fucks? You're like, something crazy's going on. And they're like, yeah, well, my life's pretty tough too. Yeah, like, what? What's going on? Help, I need the cops. How many cops? You know, like somebody's just an asshole. Yeah. So you gotta hope when you call 911 that you're not getting the fucking dumbest switchboard operator that they got, because there's a chance that somebody's called and
you get a lemon.
Yeah,
you get a lemon.
You get a lemon.
He's like, well, I'm still trying to finish my casserole, so you need to wait a minute.
He's like,
also,
I'm on my break.
Man, I got the meanest poops I got to go take care of. Just tell your opponent, just tell who they attacker, give me 2 minutes. I got to get this mean demon of a poop out of me, and we'll be good.
I got a 911 story that's pretty crazy. I was working as a bouncer on Fort Lauderdale Beach. There were 2 homeless guys that went to the sushi bar next door to my bar, and they ordered like $150 worth of sushi, and they were homeless. They didn't have any fucking money, and
So
it was
you
hilarious because they kept serving them they, I don't know what the fuck, they didn't realize they were homeless or what. But they served him a bunch of food. The owner got pissed off because he actually was the owner of the bar as well, both places. So he was like, go over there and get those guys up off the table and fucking, we're going to wait for the cops to come. So we call the cops, 911. We got, you know, it's technically not a bad emergency, but we got these guys basically that are stealing. And we asked for a cop to come out and do what they fucking do, you know, while you pay your taxes. So I think 30 minutes goes by and everybody's just getting pissed. The homeless guys are just talking shit to everybody. The owners are talking shit to the homeless guys. I'm like holding these 2 guys. And eventually they just get pissed off because the cops haven't showed up. It's been like an hour.
Right.
It went from 30 minutes to an hour and everybody's just getting hot. And that's the fucking best thing. So the owner and a couple of the other guys take these homeless guys to the alleyway and they start beating the shit out of them. Yeah, and I was standing there and I wasn't helping, but I wasn't fucking stopping them either.
You were just.
I was a bystander. I was a
support.
bystander. So the owner, a maintenance dude, and his friend just fucking laid into these 2 homeless guys.
Damn.
We called 911 back.
You were a witness.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, he was a witness.
No witnesses. No witnesses.
No witness.
But so we called 911 back because it's still a thing. We still have these 2 dudes that are bleeding now, you know? So we called 911 and we go, so what happened? We called you guys an hour ago. We called you guys 30 minutes ago. We called them a couple times. And they're like, oh, well, we were just having a shift change. And, so I guess the message didn't get relayed. And I was like, well, what if this was a fucking murder? You know what I mean? You guys still going to have a shift change? Well, it's 3 o'clock, everybody up, But, so eventually they did send a cop. The cop came out. He was like, there's not much we can do. He wrote him a ticket. And they sent the homeless guys on their way. They got their ass beat. They were bloody when the cop showed up. The cop got there and he was like, were they beat up before you guys found them? I was like, yeah, they were. Yeah, they were beat up. It's weird how that happens, It's weird how you fucking steal from people and then you get beat up and nobody knows how it happens. It's really strange.
Dang.
But if you're a homeless guy, don't go ordering about $200 worth of sushi at a restaurant.
Yeah, there will be owners that won't be happy.
There's going to be somebody trying to get money off of you. So, what do we got, Trevor? What's on the old agenda for today? We got some hot topics. Hot topics.
Yes, we do. So, we got some exciting news, I guess.
It's the news. Trevor news.
In local news, the weather's been up and down in temperature between the 60s to the 80s. We're still above normal for rain. Precipitation's doing good. From what I hear, the rivers and lakes are doing pretty good. The salmon over by the coast are doing good, and by the lakes and rivers, like over in Dexter, there's a lot of walleye and trout. They're doing good.
I love that he's adding in all these local facts that nobody knows because none of these people are from Oregon now.
Adding local flavor. Also, the Giant World Championships just wrapped up this weekend.
The world what?
Track and Field Championships.
They just started.
Oh, just started?
2 days in.
We're only 2 days in?
Trevor's trying to wrap up.
Third day.
Trevor's trying to wrap up stuff that hasn't even wrapped up.
Oh, that's bullshit. It should be over already.
No, what?
That's bullshit.
Okay,
all right,
folks.
local news. There's still all these assholes running
here's
around.
The local news. Here's the localist of news. Trevor doesn't know any of the local news.
Whatever. I knew about the fish.
This is an enveloping story.
I knew about the fish. That was more important to me than the fucking runners. I cared way more about the fish than some some motherfucker of Italy with dreams of breaking the record for the hurdles.
Chris, are you gonna let him know that was hilarious? That was pretty funny.
It's tearing me down over here.
No, it was.
No, I'm glad. So in the future,
Trevor's
I'm gonna
news segments are bullshit.
That's
I'm gonna
not
be
true.
the first Trevor News truther. I'm gonna be like Trevor News is all fairy tales and lies. There aren't any fish in Oregon.
Well, if it's things I don't care about, like collegiate sports,
so
I don't give a fuck about.
What are you telling me, Trevor? You're the first guy in history to only read what he wants.
What about boat racing? At Dexter.
Yeah. There was boat racing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Damn, Chris, jump on in.
Trevor's not into the local news at all.
I'm not a local. Chris is. Chris, I need your help. Jump in with me. Help me out here.
Okay, well, the county fair's coming up on the 20th.
Ooh.
Okay, county fair.
Okay.
And the boat races are today.
That's pretty dope. I always thought boat racing was kind of a weird sport, but then I saw speedboat racing.
Yeah.
Speedboat racing is crazy.
It's also very dangerous, too.
Guys with jet engines.
Yeah, how
jet
big are the
engines.
engines?
They're crazy. They have jet engines basically on boats, and they just have these boats going 300 miles an hour.
I don't think they have that out here, maybe Florida, but I don't think in the lakes here they quite have that. I think it's more like you have a four-stroke that's going like
they have little dinghies.
50, yeah, you have boats that go like 50 or 60, but there's no.
Well, there's some cool boats out at Fern Ridge. Like when we go out there are some cool boats out at Fern Ridge.
But none going as crazy as like the Florida super speed boats. Yeah.
I'm sorry we're throwing so much local flavor at you folks. None of you deserve all this local flavor.
All right, so in national news, here we go. Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana Trump, 73-year-old just died Thursday, falling down a staircase in
Under-
her New York home.
Under weird circumstances.
Yes, under weird circumstances, and they found severe trauma to the torso and neck from falling to the bottom of staircase 73.
So this old
This is
chick
interesting.
knew something,
Oh, yeah.
and somebody pushed her down some stairs.
Hey, Ivana, I have some makeup and chocolate down there for you. Oh, really? Yeah. Down she goes.
I'm just curious to how this old woman that was of age of dying
Yes.
could have died.
Yeah. The fact that she's the first wife of Donald Trump makes it interesting. That's
Not
why
really, but whatever.
Yeah. some old rich bitch is dead.
Some old rich bitch died. That's the news.
Hell
I don't
yeah.
remember his second wife, but I remember his third.
He had too many wives.
Too many wives.
How does a guy like that become president? I'd be like, he's gonna
Lots of
fuck the
money.
country next.
By
No,
having
I wasn't wrong.
that by having crazy amounts of money. And
You
then
trade your wives in like cars.
yes,
Every
yes.
few years, it's like, yeah, this one's got some mileage on it. I don't
Yeah,
like the
this-
tires on her anymore. You got a better model? And they're like, yeah, we do.
Yeah, she has a little
5 years younger, or it's 15 years younger. Look at the C cups on this.
Oh, she's definitely a Dodge the father whole Dodge
There
thing.
was a real funny thing about Donald Trump
Dodge
where
the
he was
father
like,
and the daughter.
he was so pissed off because he couldn't fuck his daughter. That's kind of one of those weird things where it's like,
which one though? He's got two daughters.
he's got the hot daughter, the hottest daughter.
He's got
The
he's
blonde.
got he's got two daughters.
Ivanka.
The daughter that looks like her
Ivanka's-
mom.
Ivanka's the hot one. There's also
I know, and that's the creepy part.
there's also the other daughter. from the
Ivana and
first wife.
Ivanka. Ivana.
Yeah, he has two daughters.
There's a fucking sitcom being written somewhere. Ivana and Ivanka.
Yeah.
And it's just a constant joke of like Trump coming in.
Ivana and
yeah.
Ivanka.
And then they got the background cheers when Donald Trump shows up on set. He's like, oh, bro.
I'm not gonna
He's
lie.
like, come on, shut up, fake news, fake news.
Fake
Yeah.
news. starts dry humping the
And-
flag in the corner
and-
by the
yeah.
corner of the bar.
And
just,
his wives are like, Donald, don't do that,
Don't
you
do that.
know.
And then,
he's like, shut up, I do what I want. And he slams a whole ham sandwich in his face.
And then Ivana and Ivanka, they do some weird like 80s synth song that they decide to play, and everyone has to like
In our
it.
foreign country, this is the national anthem today.
And it's weird synth
It's
techno,
weird fucking
European
techno music.
Yeah.
We come from war-torn countries, so we know about hot music.
The first wife was Czech.
You're Czech.
No, I'm not Czech.
You better check on that wife.
Oh!
Better check
All right.
on that wife
And then
because
in,
she's going to be replaced.
World news: a Mexican drug lord that they've been looking for a long time just got caught Friday. Caro Quintero, who was from the same area and same time period as good old Luis El Chapo Guzman in Sinaloa. Guzman. They found him. The Mexican Marines found him hiding in a bush in the mountains of Sinaloa, and they had to use a bloodhound to find him.
Sinaloa.
But the shitty part is a Black Hawk helicopter apparently crashed. 14 Marines died. One got injured, and then the other guys had to show up and found him in the bush.
Do you feel lucky if you're the dude that survived?
Yeah.
Do you feel really lucky that like you were the one that got out?
All these guys died to pick up one old asshole man that's hiding out in the bush.
Yep.
Kind of like with Osama bin Laden, where they made such a big deal and they had no one died, but like the helicopter did have an issue, and like it was a huge deal just to get this one rich crippled old man that was so politically
The
valuable.
logistics when they went in to go get Osama was interesting because they were going in with two helicopters. The first one, as they came down near the building, the wind created a vortex around the building, and it shoved the prop propeller out of whack, and that's all your up and down your spin.
Yep.
So it gave them no control when they were trying to land, so they just ended up fucking coming down. They survived.
Hawk Down is about.
No,
Well,
no.
Black Hawk Down is Black Hawk Down that went down in Somalia. outside the Capitol.
So did it really happen?
Yeah. No, it went.
It's a true story, but this was about Osama bin Laden. But it was just poorly planned because the physics of getting in the helicopter close to the building, it just didn't work out. And that's something that, when you're a person that kicks ass, you don't always think about science. Science affects a lot of things.
I mean, these are like the top jock dudes of the military, like Navy SEALs. So these are like the top, like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, all right, man.
Well, a lot
physics.
of them are very intelligent too. Well, the problem
What?
is that you have to have people that are doing, the science behind it too.
Mm-hmm.
You can have all the logistics and all the weaponry and all the fucking transportation, but if you can't get the transportation in, you can't safely get out.
That was the whole issue with the moon landing. They almost crashed, and that was almost a disaster, just trying to fucking land the thing.
Land on the moon, which didn't happen. It was filmed in a set somewhere in Hollywood, apparently.
Who knows? I mean, birds aren't real, Earth is flat. Like, I just don't know.
It's all conspiracy, folks.
The food pyramid, all bullshit. Pluto being a planet being
us.
bullshit. Also, Antarctica has its own ocean, folks. We were lied to.
You can hear us.
7 oceans.
You folks are now part of the resistance.
Join.
In 2049, Skynet became aware. Arnold Schwarzenegger's coming.
And I mean, he's coming.
All over Mexican maids.
And creating giant hybrid super children.
He is.
Weights.
His kid's awesome, dude. His kid looks awesome.
I saw this kid from his legitimate marriage, this scrawny guy named Patrick.
Yeah.
He's riding his bike right by where I was sleeping in a redwood tree. Now it is impressive.
Well, he used to be fat kid. He used to be a fat kid, and then he lost a bunch of weight.
He was just goofy, skinny kid, Patrick, when I saw him going by next to me. And his mom, Maria Shriver, was waking my ass up. Come on, Patrick! Just screaming with a high, shrill voice, and I pop up, and there's fucking Maria Shriver a few feet away. And then she pointed at Patrick, and there he was, going on his bike, and his helmet's there all fucking curved back, looks like his sperm.
If you folks don't know, Trevor grew up with the Schwarzeneggers.
No, but I grew up when they. No. I didn't grow up with them. I'm way too poor for that. I grew up when they took over office after Gray Davis, because Gray Davis was the '90s with the whole power outages, and then early 2000s. So Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor, took in while his good buddy Jesse Ventura was the governor in Minnesota, both in the Predator movie. You son of a bitch.
Jesse Ventura always sucked, though.
He did. They actually, what is funny is they, one time Jesse Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger at the state capitol of Sacramento, they had this giant tent, outdoor tent, set on the outside of the Capitol building where they were smoking these big cigars. Well, they caught it on fire, the tent, and it burned part of the Capitol building, and us taxpayers had to pay for these assholes burning it down.
You don't know that our taxes pay for everything, Trevor, including vacations and burning
cigar
things
accidents.
down?
Yeah. No, I know. It's just an example.
You think they'd ever come to us as the American people and be like, "Yeah, there was a giant accident, and we accidentally burned down a Capitol, so we need the money to rebuild it."
These were some very good humidors. I'm sorry.
Fuck that.
You want to do your movie review?
I don't know if I have a movie review.
I'll fucking do a documentary if you got nothing, or a book review.
You want to go ahead and do a book review?
Yeah, I'll do a quick book review. So I just finished reading the third book of the Wheel of Time series written by Robert Jordan, and it was a really good book. It's called The Dragon Reborn. It's about 600 pages, which for that series is pretty small. Usually like 800 pages.
What is it called again?
It's called The Dragon Reborn. It's the book 3 in the Wheel of Time series, written by Robert Jordan. It was published in 1991, and it's a fantasy story about the main character, this young messiah that has to go get this magic sword to defeat the evil Shadow, and then all of his friends.
Chris is just realizing. I'm sorry to cut you off. Chris is just realizing how bad Twisted Tea is.
All right, I'll drink the other one then.
Trevor was trying to be nice to Chris and giving him a Twisted Tea.
You want to drink this?
But,
then?
No.
but I know for a fact That Twisted Tea is the shittiest shit.
No, there's worse.
No, there is worse, but that's the problem. Is it's not much better.
It's a little bit better than PBR.
Trevor's not a very fancy boy over here, folks.
What are you
so
talking
he
about?
buys a lot of non-fancy beers.
Look at my fancy clothes.
Last time
now.
he bought a Miller Lite or a Bud Light was 1,000,000 years ago. He's been living off of Steel Reserves and Twisted Teas.
Sometimes I get wild with a cider, and in the wintertime drink my Wicked cider.
When he wants to really party, he makes a Clamato with the Natty Ice and a Tecantes and shit.
I don't do all that.
Yeah, you don't like those Natty Ices, though.
I'm okay with the Natty Ice, the Nasty Ice, but the Clamatos I don't care for because I don't like tomato juice. So I grew up with a lot of Mexicans that loved it, but I wasn't down for it. I would always just give me the tequila or give me the
But Chris
Tecate.
has some taste.
Yeah, I love
Chris at
Tecate.
least drinks Bush. I can respect Bush.
Yes, I do, sir. That's good stuff.
It's not bad.
Hey, I've had my mouth in some Bush, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but
I'm not having George W.
Oh damn! I want to talk shit, but that was funny.
I know, so fuck you. All right, I'll do my album review while you think of something to talk about for movie reviews. I know you watch enough things.
I don't know about movies. What do you mean? I don't do movies. I never do
This
movies.
guy's bullshitting you right
Chris, he's just throwing me under the bus.
yeah, you do too.
No.
now. No, he does movies. He's bullshitting.
Yeah.
Can't bullshit me. I
You
have
do
brown
a book
eyes.
review.
But yeah, the book review is the hero. He has to fight all these guys. He has to find the main shadow, this guy called Beelzebub, and then he ends up through a bunch of adventures and having to fight bad guys and being hunted down. He gets the sword, fights and kills this guy, but he realizes he's not quite the main bad guy. He's just like one of the main, I guess, henchmen. So then he has to continue on, and while this goes on, a bunch of crazy events and people have weird dreams and all these, like the dead are coming back and all this crazy shit happens. So the end of the world is drawing near. So there you go. It's a good book. I recommend it.
Dead are coming back. Yes. Yay for the dead.
Yeah, get one more shot at life. Yeah. That would
There's
be a
also
weird
old witchy
thing.
bitches doing things too.
Oh,
Called the Aes Sedai. They're like a bunch of female witches that do good things, but they like control kingdoms and. do all
Wouldn't
these
it be
things.
strange? Wouldn't it be so weird if you died and you wanted to die? Basically, you committed suicide. You're like, my wife just got done cheating on me. The kids hate me. I don't want to do this anymore. So you kill yourself, right? And then somehow there's a voodoo woman that brings back the dead, and now you have to walk
She's
around.
a witchy woman.
Now you have to walk around, not only in your shitty shoes of being you, but with half of your head blown off from a gunshot. You can't eat food. Your fucking head's all just like, and now you're hungry for brains, but you got no mouth. You're just blown apart.
Yeah, and you don't have a foot, so you're just shuffling around with a pimp walk all the time.
And then you try to think about getting back with your woman, and it's just like, how's she gonna love a no face? How's she gonna love a no face guy, no zombie?
The one good thing though, you came back zombie, your dick was 3 times longer for some reason. It's the one good thing. It's got a super zombie penis.
It's the weirdest trade off.
It's big
He's
zombie
got a super
penis.
zombie dick. It's a super zombie dick,
Yep.
face blown off trade off.
Yep.
That was awesome.
So you don't want to talk about a movie?
I don't think I watched a movie. I'm sorry, folks. I will be on my movie game next time. But the problem is I have been working my butt off at work, and I've been a little tired lately. So
What about an episode or a documentary?
I've been watching lately. I've been getting back into Law and Order, the
there you
original
go.
series.
Talk about that real quick.
Law and Order is such a bad series. Okay, I can talk about Law and Order for a moment.
Yeah.
Law and Order is such a bad series because it's written with a bunch of hardcore New York accents, even though some of the people aren't New York native. And it's always like got some bad line to end the moment or the episode.
Yep.
So it's like somebody gets burnt to death, and they're like, well, I guess he won't be going to the barbecue.
Yep.
And then it's like they switch to another scene, and it's back in the police station.
Was Ice-T in these?
He's in SVU, which is another spinoff, but the original Law and Order is written even worse than SVU. SVU is written okay, but it still has a lot of the original crap.
Yeah.
But
Ice-T. You're talking about Ice-T?
yeah, he was he's in SVU. Yeah. But the original Law and Order with Jack McCoy, you remember that?
I've seen it.
How he wins every
exactly. That's the whole funny part is that he never loses. He's like he never loses cases. He's he's the order of Law and Order.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, Jack McCoy is this actor. He's a good actor. I actually like him as an actor. He's been in a lot of cool shit.
T.J. Waterhouse.
Yeah, but he
T.D. Waterhouse.
Something, yeah.
T.D. Waterhouse.
But he
Jack McCoy.
in Law and Order, he plays just this super smart ass lawyer that just knows everything about everything, and he basically just wins every case.
And then he has a drink.
And then he has a drink and he discusses it for a moment, and then the episode ends. So it always starts out, usually, because it has to happen in the sequence, it has to start with the law. So the law is somebody broke the law, murder, rape, or some bullshit. So the cops got to show
Beanie
up.
Babies.
Yeah, the cops got to show up. And then when the cops get their guy, then they show the other half of the episode, which is the order, which is the courts and the lawyers and the dumb shit. So it's just a funny show to watch when you're stoned, because you're just like, this is ridiculous.
Law
And order. Because if you can't have one, you can't have the other, right?
I want to see like the janitor who has to do
Law and law.
I want to see the janitor who's doing lines of coke to stay awake to clean up after the giant party that these fucking lawyers made after their case.
After their case that they win every day.
And he's having to clean up this bullshit, and it's like Dave Chappelle. He's like, these motherfuckers just having to clean up all of it.
All I'll say about Law and Order is as the show progressed into SVU, the writing actually did get better. But now they have other spin-offs. I think it's like they had Criminal Intent. They have a ton of Law and Order spin-offs. But now the writing is worse than ever. It's so bad.
Hell yeah.
It's the terror. It's like watching daytime soap operas. That's what it reminds me of. It's like watching weird daytime soap operas.
Law and Order?
Yeah, like General Hospital or fucking something like that.
I have to watch one.
What?
General Hospital.
I got it. General Hospital. Who doesn't watch that shit?
I've seen it stoned. Nah.
I watch Seinfeld when I'm stoned. That's
Seinfeld is
I've
great.
seen that. I've seen that a few times.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'm still more of a
General Hospital, Chris.
I don't watch it every day.
Well, why do you like it?
yeah.
Because it's on when I'm eating breakfast.
It's convenience.
Yeah.
Ever seen any New York tits or anything?
No.
Those are some great New York
realized they're
boobs.
from New York.
Are they?
I thought they're from L.A.
I don't know.
They're from New
From
York.
La La Land?
Yeah,
From the
General
City of
High-
Angels?
what's the
What
city?
other names does LA have?
City of Angels. The
City of Brotherly Love? No, that's Philadelphia.
That's Philadelphia. Yeah, I just call it hell
So
personally.
it's the City of Angels, La La Land,
Tinseltown is
Hollywood.
Tinseltown's a name for Hollywood.
Tinseltown, Hollywood. Why does LA have so many fucking... It does. It has like tons of names.
Well, it's one of the top five.
Hollyweird.
It's one of the most top 5 populated cities in the country. So
Of
that's why.
course. People move out of Hollywood. It's just weird there. It's so strange.
I've had to drive through LA and fuck that place. I'd never want to live there. Yes, there's some cool things going on. Chris is trying to grab the dead, curled epidermal layer of my skin from my leg
Trevor's
right
sitting
now.
here shedding like a fucking lizard.
That's high roll, bud.
I was like, man, he's got this big old patch. I'm gonna rip it off of him and be like, ew. So funny. I remember when I lived in Florida, we used to get sunburned so bad that you could peel off sheets of fucking back pieces, and I mean sheets, like
That's gross.
giant pieces of skin.
You could like make a salad out of it or something delicious.
You could
I'm
use it
kidding.
for something. I
You
don't
could.
know what you could. But
You could press
use it for
ooh,
something.
You could
Fried
press.
pork skin.
You could press it, or you could, if you're an interesting fellow, you could make like arts and crafts of it, like press it in books or something, like leaves.
I
but
was thinking
sheets of
more
skin.
like compost, but okay.
That works too.
Compost? Yeah, why would you compost it?
Because
There's
it's
so many meta uses.
yeah, but I could grow stuff with it. That's what I want to do with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Or
I'm gonna use my skin as fuel for plants.
You could maybe like shred it up and sell it as spices and say it's all natural to like the Saturday market.
That doesn't sound right.
No,
Nah.
you don't want to eat it.
We'll figure it
Trevor's
out.
just a piece of shit. He's trying to sell dead skin to
Trevor,
people.
now, wait a minute.
Weird fuck.
I like to party, bud. All right.
That's
All
funny.
right. All right. Let me do my album review.
Okay.
So I have this band called Dystopia, and it is their self-titled album.
I think I saw it the other day. You left it open on the laptop.
I love this band.
Yeah.
They're definitely a grindcore sort of crusty, heavy punk with a lot of black metal influences. So it's a mix of a lot of like punk and metal genres. I've played them for you before. They're very heavy and depressing, but they're awesome.
Okay.
They definitely talk about nihilism and how fucked up things are, and talk about drugs a lot.
He's a nihilist, man. He doesn't believe in nothing.
I worry, Donnie. All right, so here we go. This is called "Now and Forever" is the song.
Are these the Nazis, Walter? That was something.
Yeah.
I think it's so funny because the whole time you were playing that, all I could think of some emo dude going up to his girlfriend and being like, I wrote you a song that expresses how I feel.
I love it. So if you would let me send you a link, I can.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good on that one.
All right. I love that shit. But yeah,
Trevor's
Dystopia,
thinking it's so cool.
self-titled, Now and Forever. I think it's great. You guys should check it out.
Wait a minute.
And there you go.
What do you got to say, Chris?
What do you think of that, Chris? I just saw
I'm not
Chris.
gonna say what just happened.
Yeah, what just happened?
What do you think of the
Let's
music?
listen to Dystopia.
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I like their name. Dystopia.
Yeah, the name is cool.
What do you think of the music? I know. I know they weren't Steely Dan.
That's a first of that kind for me.
I figured it was. It's not Steely Dan, which is probably what you're a little more used to, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, just in general, Trevor, most people don't listen to throat gargling fucking metal.
Well, there are people out there that do.
There are. We have a lot of hard rocking fans, I'd hope.
And that's why I decided to throw it, because I've been doing a lot of very nice, peaceful world music lately. So I gotta throw something heavy in once in a while.
He's got to lay down the hammer, folks. And
I
by
can
lay
sell
down
it-
the hammer, he means Dystopia hammers.
Yes. So there you go, folks. Still know how to rock.
All right. Well,
Right.
it wasn't terrible.
All right. So now, let's see. I got a subject about badass Indian emperor, or you could talk about right now your philosophy when you were doing the mushroom thing about everything in life being interconnected.
Oh, yeah. So I did mushrooms a little while ago. And while I was tripping and while I was thinking, as you do, I came into the belief that like people can see feelings. So if people can see feelings, like, is it possible that you could see feelings in like plants and other objects, you know? So if that's possible, then there's a possibility that everything in the world, everything that's living at least, and maybe everything that's not living is connected, you know, cellularly and through just organic matter possibly. There's been a lot of religions that have been based kind of similarly off of that ideal, and it's called pantheism.
term,
Yeah, pantheism, and it's basically the idea, and a lot of philosophers got into it in the 1700s. About, I think it was the 16s or the 17s.
Does that have to do with pathos?
No, it has nothing to do with pathos. It's not Greek. But it basically is an idea that everything is connected. And everything in the world and everything in the universe is all connected somehow. And that everything that we do affects everything in the world and the universe. So it's like a small ripple that you don't realize that you're doing, because obviously you're in the lake, but that ripple goes throughout the entire universe and does something, So it's just interesting to think of the concept that everything that we touch and everything that we do is connected to something else, especially in the earth and the people that we interact with, and the people you choose to have relationships with.
Sounds similar to Taoism, which is an Asian philosophy of kind of using the force, how everything's connected, and there's a good and bad that balances itself out.
Well, I think love's one of the greatest capabilities that we have as a people of understanding high emotion. And love is very interesting in the way that it can make people put themselves aside and their well-being aside for a group dynamic or a personal dynamic, And that's a very interesting thing, because we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did as a species if we didn't learn to care for one another like we did. And that's something I think that today you don't see as much of, because we don't have to have that tribe mentality anymore. Now it's every dog for himself. But if we're a pack, we're a fucking lot stronger together. If everything's connected,
Join the wolf pack.
Join the pack, man.
Join the wolf pack.
Don't be a sheep.
Yeah.
But if everyone's part of the pack, there's always going to be some sheep.
There will always be sheep. There will always be wolves. And you got to find out which side you're on. But even being a wolf, you have to understand that, the sheep have a place. And sheep have to understand the wolf has a place.
And if you're enough of a wolf, you like to play piano music at 9 p.m. out in the porch and talk about being angry at the world.
What are you talking about?
Our old neighbor Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Kidding.
Trevor's bringing up obscure people that nobody would know.
All right.
This is old neighbors.
Go on though. I do like what we were talking about.
Anywho, the whole culmination is that there's this book, Ethics. It was written by a philosopher, a really cool dude. I started getting into it. It's kind of like a 16-hour book, but it's an audio book, and you can find it on YouTube. So if you look up Ethics, the book, it'll give you a slight dip into pantheism. And I listened to about an hour and a half of it. It's pretty interesting. And it's all about how the world and gods affect each other, and how each person is their own personal god, basically.
What do you think about that, Chris? Do you think life is connected?
I liked what Einstein said, but I can't remember what he said.
He said a lot of things. But
He said, "Get out of my way, I'm marrying my cousin."
Well, Jerry Lee Lewis said that too. A few others said that.
Hey, don't
Abraham Lincoln.
disrespect my man.
Don't disrespect my
man.
You disrespect me, bro. I'll develop a bomb so powerful that it's
We'll
like
change
what?
world history.
What? Fuck you, you pussy. And then he's like, watch. And he goes back to his lab.
Yep. I'll show them. I'll show all of them.
That's what people don't realize, is that Einstein created the atom bomb out of pure spite.
Yep.
Some
of them.
Japanese guy pissed him off. Said he wouldn't do it.
And those sounds interesting. And
Yeah.
It's got. I don't know. I'm not gonna say.
So the reason that
exactly.
the religion, well, not the religion, the train of thought basically got crushed was religion came into play, and religion said that any pantheistic believers will be fucking killed. So the Jews, the Christians, everybody kind of sided up to say that we don't want this as a belief anymore. and so the bigger religions kind of squashed it out, and that's why it's a lesser known thing today, but it's still a really relevant thing. It was going on during the Greek times, so that's kind of where it originally developed. But
In Greece.
yeah,
Greece,
but it was written by a lot of philosophers, and then more
You said earlier it
philosophers
was
kept
in
writing
Greek.
about it. Well, it like the idea
So it
began,
didn't really become a
but
religion,
it didn't
so-
become a religious thing, and it didn't become a real ideal until later after.
Well, it's like Confucianism.
Everything basically started with the Greeks.
Yeah. Well, unless you look at China, we have like Confucius, where around that a little before he was
I'm
already.
so confused.
But a little bit before those guys, around the same time, like the 5th century, 6th century BC, he had ideas about being good and virtuous and helping put balance in the world, and it was similar. And those ideas are now, Confucianism is more of a religion, whereas it used to be just kind of a philosophy, kind of like this.
Yeah. But that's where I think a lot of great philosophies are lost, is in religion.
Yes.
Because religion
Beats it
tends
up.
to corrupt, you know.
Join the group. Like, ah, shit.
Well, it's less about the group and it's more about the ideal.
I
You
know.
If you truly believe something, you don't need a group dynamic to support it.
I agree, but religion's all about
Group dynamics.
Herd mentality.
Because what makes a religion stronger? More people
Numbers.
and more money.
Yeah, more people, you have more money and more just
Lands.
manpower and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. And that's the problem that people face. But you don't have to always deal with that. You can make your own decisions. That's the awesome thing about free thought. Is no matter, what happens, you have the ability, a conscious person has the ability to think otherwise. It may get you killed.
Yeah.
It may fucking get you hurt. But that is your only God-given right, is to be able to say no. Or I don't want this.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta fight for your right.
To party.
Party.
To fucking party.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's pretty good. Anything else on that?
Nope.
Is
think I wrapped it up nicely.
Is that gonna be a wrap?
I got
He's got
some.
a little bit more. We got about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I just learned about this. Speaking of the Greeks, shortly after Alexander the Great rolled through northern India in the 4th century BC, he definitely made an impression on other rulers, including this guy named Ashoka. His father was an emperor that started to spread and take over a big chunk of India. But this guy took the lessons from what Alexander the Great had just done on how to use stone architecture to make roads and move armies, and how
Aqueducts.
to use aqueducts, and then also just using roads to move military, and also just using military tactics that he observed from Alexander the Great and others. And he took over most of India. He was the first emperor to take over pretty much all of India. And after,
You know what's funny about Alexander the Great
yes,
is that he learned a lot of his shit from Sun Tzu.
he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Sun Tzu was awesome. But this guy Ashoka, after he killed and done enough things, like he had taken over this, there was a state he had taken over of India called Kalinga, and after Kalinga, he thousands of people died. He decided to start doing Buddhism, because Buddha was another figure that had just come from that area 2 centuries before. This guy ended up hooking up with a chick that was a descendant from that family or tribe, northern India, where Buddha's from. And he decided to start taking the principles, and decided to just, at this point, try to peace and focus on developing roads and providing shelter for travelers, and providing free education for the people, and spreading writing, and making food storages for people so that they could use when they needed it. And he did a lot of good things.
You know what's pretty crazy is to think of writing as being a, like...
New thing.
Yeah, well, like, to be a real big source of communication.
Yeah. And he was the first. A lot of the stone pillars of Buddha that you see around Asia are because of him. He was the first guy continue to send like disciples for Buddhism and spread it to like China and Bangladesh. Even Afghanistan, he's in Pakistan. He sent people all over, and they're still finding like these giant pillars that this guy had, and like giant Buddha statues that this guy had built 2,500 years ago, damn near.
Wow.
And he lived to be 71, and it was considered definitely like the height of the golden age of ancient India. And he died of old age. And then after he died, his sons continued to do things, but like anything, you know, enough.
Sorry, folks, we're smoking weed.
Enough generations go by, and the empire falls apart. And it was part of the Mauryan Empire. So there, and this guy had 5 wives
Trevor's got
and
no
6
balls.
offspring.
He won't smoke the joint.
I will. I'm talking.
He's trying to talk, but he won't smoke
So,
and
yeah.
talk.
There was also a tree named after this guy, Ashoka. There's this fruit-bearing tree called the Ashoka tree named after him. He was a complex dude and did a lot of cool things.
Trevor's
There
got
you
a
go.
new best friend, Ashoka.
Yep. So there you go, folks.
Very cool. All right. Well, I'm about ready to wrap this one up, man. It's been a great podcast, folks. We're going to go ahead and wrap up a little early, and we'll get back at you in a couple days with more news and more events. And
We'll have more episodes uploaded.
yeah, we're going to be uploading here
19
soon.
and on.
And yeah, we'll get back at you. But it's been great. Chris, thank you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Like dinner.
always a
It's been great
pleasure.
time.
Trevor, why don't you grab that old axe of yours and
Okay.
do the damn thing. You can find the Two Lonely Boys on YouTube.com. Go ahead and check us out. We're also working on getting on other platforms, so be checking us out very soon.
Oh, man.
Good job, Trevor.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We'll get at you next time. Thank you.